Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Elite City Podcast. We have a full house tonight. Hello, everybody. Or not.
Hello.
There's everyone. Hey.
It's good to have everyone on the podcast this week. I'm excited. I think Biddy heard that I won the all-in predictions, and she just couldn't allow me to have sustained happiness.
Oh,
So
actually,
now-
I didn't hear that. I'm proud of you.
So,
wow.
that's even worse. Now you don't list that. At first, I thought you
There
just
went
were
my first joke
trying to take my crown away from me. Now you're just not even listening to the podcast when you're not on it. So that's slightly worse.
Yeah.
So-
I had
So
a
my
joke
apathy
prepared
is
for everybody.
worse.
Yes, yes. But for the record, I'm going to say this off the top.
Yeah.
I think that Biddy's pick shouldn't count this week.
How
Oh.
dare you, sir?
I don't know why. I've just decided they shouldn't. It's like the power that the EVPs have. It comes and goes. It doesn't need to make sense. It just
True.
I just decided it. So I
Well-
think Blasco will back me up here that Biddy
Yeah,
shouldn't count.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, we did say last
Something
you had to listen to last
something-
week's episode.
Well,
To
guess what?
participate.
I'm not participating at all then.
something Rick has too much power, something.
It's power, but it's only when it makes sense for the plot.
Gotcha.
Then
Biddy-
the rest
Biddy,
of the time I don't have any power.
Are we just gonna sit by and let this happen?
Oh, I'm going to Tony Khan.
It is, well, it's now all out season. We had all in. Now the stupid part of the year where there's 2 pay-per-views in 10 days. Sorry, had to get that out too. We had a slight build last night on Dynamite. We had the Swerve and Hangman situation. Do we want to get into that, or are we going to get into that when we get into the card?
No, we should just get into it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Mhm.
a thing. It's what everyone wants to
Yeah.
talk about.
1000%. It was really cool the way they did it. Swerve bought his childhood home. It was his dream, and it was the only thing he ever wanted.
That he only mentioned for the first time
Correct.
yesterday.
Yeah, for a YouTube video that then aired, cut up on. It's like the 2-minute video was cut down to like 13 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah,
His
it meant
lifelong
the world
dream
to
that
it.
we didn't know about until
Correct.
it was appropriate for the plot.
Exactly. And then, lo and behold, the Hangman shows up with a can of gasoline. And whose house did he burn down?
Swerve's house.
Yeah. That
Uh,
was great.
So this was obviously a premeditated. He set up a chair. He set up a chair and a table. He had a drink ready.
He had a drink for it. I thought that was awesome.
I just
Yeah.
want to say, quick tip. I know Hangman probably listens to our very great podcast.
1000% does.
If you're going to commit arson, maybe don't record it and then air it on international TV.
That's
I
okay.
mean, that's what all the kids are doing these days on TikTok.
Yeah, that is true.
It's true. That is
You're
true.
right. There was a video once of someone recording herself throwing chairs onto the highway
Interesting.
from her condo balcony.
Oh wait, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, she got arrested. Shockingly.
Yeah, it'll do it.
You mean that's against the law?
No.
You can't do that? What?
But you
Anyways,
can burn down someone's home because
Apparently.
they still have a match on Saturday.
yes. It's unsanctioned though. It is.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a lights out match. So.
Did you see that thing online where people noticed that Hangman's new entrance video has a burned out house in it?
Yes.
No, I did not.
did
That's
not
awesome.
notice
Not
that.
only
no.
did he plan this in advance, he told the graphics team to put it up.
Premeditated.
They were like, "Hey, why are we putting a burned in house here?" Never mind, don't worry about that. Just
Yeah,
put
that's
it in there,
premeditated now.
just in case.
Wow. Just in
I just like burned out houses. There's nothing new. I'm not planning on burning out a house. I just like them. They're cool image for me.
Now, my question: at the moment that he lit the house on fire, in all seriousness, did this become like the new Tony Storm Mariah May feud?
It was pretty cool. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it feels very personal. It feels
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
deeper than like Mariah May and Tony, because that was okay. That was personal on like a mentor level, but this was like,
True,
you know,
true.
the whole like I carried you, Hangman, you sat there while I carried my wife, and like now he's showing up at his childhood home. Like it feels very, very personal. Like on a much deeper level.
True.
I mean, it did start with Swerve threatening his baby. So
I
Yeah.
know.
Let's not forget. That is how it started.
Hangman said, "Hey, I want a shot at the title." Swerve said, "No, I want a shot at the title. And by the way, I'm breaking into your house and threatening your child."
I'm stealing your child's artwork too.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
So
Oh,
it.
how can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it got stapled to his face.
So what can Swerve do now to raise the stakes even more?
I don't know. Was it Hangman that drank his blood? I mean, this
Yeah.
is, we've got a
Yeah.
burned down house, child artwork stapled to faces, drinking blood.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, it is unsanctioned match, so God only knows what could happen.
It's not going to happen, but I would love if it's an unsanctioned match and they just like have a chain wrestling match and are like, no, we want to follow. We're gonna
Have a pure rules match.
Does anyone remember, Blasco? You weren't watching then, but when Randy Orton and Triple H had that feud, and I think it was Randy Orton Triple H broke into Randy Orton's house and like attacked him, and then Randy Orton beat up Stephanie McMahon, and it was like a whole like blood feud, and then they literally just had like a wrestling match.
Of course.
As the blow
I
up.
remember that.
They're like, we're gonna lock up and trade holds because you attacked
Yeah.
my wife and I broke into your home, but like, hey, this is within the rules of combat.
Correct. Well, that's a great segue. Like, where does it go next? Like, I mean, because the match isn't the end now. There's no way that it's
No, I
just
don't
all
think
this
so.
happens in 3
No.
days.
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, like, do they just keep, are they going to be the guys that just always kind of, when there's nothing else going on, they just fight each other?
Hangman's gonna be like, now I bought your mom's new house, and
Oh,
I'm
maybe
kicking her out.
he stole Prince Nana and like took him. It's the only thing that means more to Swerve than his house, I'm assuming.
His manager, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prince Nana and was like, he came up with a new dance for me, and it's better than the dance he came up with for you.
he chops
And he
off
added
Nana's,
like a twirl, and then now, yeah.
he chops off Nana's hands so he can't do the dance anymore.
Oh, that's wrong.
They
Didn't-
just-
wrong.
Didn't Swerve break Billy Gunn's hand so he couldn't scissor anymore?
silly
Someone-
gun.
Someone,
Billy Gunn.
It sounded like you said silly gun.
It sure sounded like Silly Gun.
Well, now his name is Silly Gunn. Thank you very much. That's what I'm calling him from now on.
I was gonna say something I can't remember, so keep talking. It went in and right out.
Just like I know Swerve was like upset obviously when this was happening, but like Hangman talked for like 5 minutes. He could have just like in that time
Called
called
the
like
police.
called the
Yes.
local police and fire department and been like, "Hey
100%,
guys,
Someone's
This
burning
is
down a house.
there's a video of him live on TV of him burning down the house I just bought. Can you just like check in just to make sure?"
Well, unless as we discussed yesterday, if there's a right of way to the property and Swerve doesn't have it, oh well, what's he gonna do?
That's the thing. We did discuss it yesterday, and I want to get into that. I would like to have seen Hangman. I like this angle. I thought it was fun, but I would like to have seen Hangman do something less illegal, but like still painful. My thinking is he could be like, Swerve, I saw you bought your childhood home. Well, bad news. I talked to the municipal zoning office today, and I've encouraged them to rezone that property. And now it's going to be a 4-story mixed-use office building with street-level retail, and there's nothing you can do about it. Ha ha ha!
I also
Completed all the appropriate paperwork.
I also liked your take on knob and tube wire, and good luck ensuring that. It's gonna cost thousands to fix.
I had an insurance adjuster look at it. You're never getting that insured.
We didn't subdivide. We added more parcels. Here are your $17,000 taxes a year.
Good luck paying those property taxes.
Oh, it would have been so funny from that
Heard them
angle.
that way. Like, yeah.
I know it's your childhood
Ah.
home, but I remodeled it and I did a lazy flip with millennial gray and LVP flooring.
There's structural issues that I just put drywall up over. You'll never even know where they were.
There's water in the basement. It just magically disappeared. There's no problems. It's fine.
And then, like, yeah, his house would be fine right now, but slowly over the next decade, it would
Right.
degrade.
It's the long haul.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's the long game.
10 years from now, someone would go, you were right. My foundation is crumbling.
His toilet backs up. He goes, I should have gotten the sewer line inspection. Damn you, Hangman.
Telling you, it's one of those cursed toilets in there. If you've ever seen those on like social media, I've seen one where there's it looks like a powder room, but there's like a curtain behind the toilet, and it's actually like the old basement stairs that go down.
Oh,
Like
Wow.
just terrifying stuff. You have to check it out on like Facebook. It's like cursed toilet images or something. And it's wild. It's stuff
Interesting.
from real estate, like carpeted bathrooms, like with stairs that go to the toilet.
I've seen
Like
ones
a
that have steps
throne.
going up to the toilet. Those are great.
That's
Like,
amazing.
just imagine being drunk and falling asleep on
That's
the
what I was just
toilet.
gonna say.
God.
and you fall
Going
off.
head first down the stairs.
And then having to explain that to somebody. I fell off the toilet and down the stairs at the same time.
so many yarners.
Just
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
if you were in the middle of some diarrhea and you fall forward and you just spray the whole way down.
That's probably what
Okay,
would
now you've
happen.
taken this too far, bitch.
Yeah.
Love
I was-
Podcast.
We were all having a fun time.
Now you have a concussion and poop all over you.
God, what a
Maybe that's the next step. We're talking about what a Hangman and Swerve going to do. Maybe one of them's going to poop on the other.
wow.
Oh.
I didn't think we were getting to those kind
Yeah,
of
it
movies,
was-
but-
geez.
I mean,
Jeez.
once you've burned
That
down
would
someone
be-
else's house, what can you do next? You have to
Well,
poop on them.
And they literally drank each other's blood. I
Yeah.
mean,
So you poop on them.
wiping poop on each other would be.
They just end up in like a feces fight. Like they're just throwing poop at each other, and yeah.
There's other options. I mean, like, there's way other ways you can go.
No, there are not.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I can't even say anything to that.
Okay.
Good having everyone back.
100%. Anyways, what do you want? Do you just want to go through the card now? I'm
at this
dumbfounded. Actually,
point, we've hit the top tier of the night. There's no
yeah,
else to
I
go.
was just gonna
Before
say.
we do the
yeah.
card, do we want to talk about what Mox is up to, or is that for later?
Oh, we can talk about Mox. That's
So
fine.
what's Mox
Yeah.
up to?
Okay.
What do you think?
I-
Speaking of guys acting weird, not feces throwing weird, but
Give it
I
time.
love that Mox still enters not from like a tunnel, but from like in front of a TV Tron thing.
crowd,
He's
yeah.
like, here I come through like like down the crowd, down the stairs, and hop over the barricade. Old school, like Mox always has done.
I like that now when they walk backstage, Marina Shafir just assaults people.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
it's
Like,
hilarious.
like people who aren't even doing like at least it's not even like security guards are trying to stop her. They're just like
No, it's just somebody like writing on a clipboard, and she's like, bam.
Yeah. She's like, that guy is, guarding the door. Gotta beat him up. That guy has a headset on. Mad
This
at
guy
that.
tying his shoe, screw him.
How dare he? And she just like throwing people. It's fun. I like
Nerd,
it.
get some Velcro shoes.
Slip-ons, buddy. Get your shit together.
I like it. She's been really cool. I think she looks really cool in all this.
Hmm.
What do you think they want to talk to Darby about?
I don't know what they want to talk to Darby. It's gonna be some this is the spirit of AEW stuff, because that's what every AEW feud is about. But I think this is gonna end up with him fighting Darby, and then they'll bond through the violence they caused on one another, just like Mox did with Danielson and Mox did with Yuta. And I think they're gonna end up on the same side.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know what he's talking to. I think it's going to be something like, I don't know, you should be doing better. You don't care about winning. You don't care about whatever. All you do is care about, hurting yourself. And I can fine tune your violence into
Is Mox like the
success
new,
or something.
does that make him like the new Eddie? Because that's kind of like what Eddie did. Like he was just kind of like that motivational, like,
No, but if Eddie comes back, he could join them. That'd be cool.
I love Eddie.
I want more Mox and Eddie. They didn't really have a feud when they
is
broke
true.
up. They didn't really have
Mhm.
one, and I want them to.
But
That's
is-
because Renee yelled at them both.
That's right.
That's true.
that was incredible. Are we taking this as Mox being like positive? See, I took this as Mox being negative and like he's gonna fall off the deep end and hurt people. Like not like I don't know, the opposite of the I guess a heel BCC, if that makes sense.
I think it's going to be a weird done with your nonsense. We're going to like I don't know, fine tune our violence towards a goal.
Okay.
Though I don't know what the goal is.
See, I think the goal is Shane McMahon. I think that's the wild card, in my opinion.
That I could see that, but that would seem really weird. Like, we're gonna fight people and beat everyone up and bring Darby Allin on our side, so that this like 55-year-old rich guy is gonna hang out with us now. I don't know. Seems weird. I mean, they could justify it somehow, but
and what that's what I mean. Like they'll have to find a way to get there, but I think that's what this is all about. Because the whole this isn't your company anymore. That's more than Darby Allin. Which is like Darby's just an employee if we're being technical here. So like, why does he need to talk to him?
Independent contractor,
right? But like, he's nothing though. Is my point. Like, you know,
maybe it's like a takeover of it. Like, it's Mox's company, and he just needs people on his side, and he wants Darby.
I guess. I don't know. The whole thing with that it's so wild. None of you people can even begin to wrap your head around it. Comment when he made that's the two things that sit with me that make it think that it's Shane. I have no idea. Exactly. It's
I
fun
don't know.
though. I like
I
it.
know. I like it.
Yeah.
Just thought of it as maybe he's like acquiring people and like now we have Blackpool going against the Young Bucks at All Out, so maybe he's like acquiring others to like overtake the Young Bucks and the Elite from like running AEW.
Yeah,
maybe
I could see
John's
that.
starting his own faction, like
because they kind of glossed over the Blackpool combat thing. Like, I like that they mentioned it.
Yeah.
I like that they said like, "Hey, is he no longer?" And Danielson kind of just ignored it. But I like that
Right.
they mentioned it because all you need is like a passing attempt at continuity, and I'll be happy. So I'm glad that they did that.
Yeah, I mean that's like you said, as long as it's just mentioned on TV, like they can reference that, like, oh, Excalibur said it 3 weeks ago.
that's
Oh
fine.
yeah, that's right. Like,
It's the opposite of what the Young Bucks do, but I'm not going to get into that this week.
you'll get it one day.
I told myself I'll be good.
You'll understand that. You'll understand their genius one day.
Oh boy.
It's a well perfected act. It's
Okay.
perfect. It's just very well done. Anyways, do you think they're going to go for more than Darby though? That's my next question.
I would assume so, because you're right. If the whole thing is like, we're going to take over, me and one other guy,
and Marina Shafir.
and Marina Shafir, yeah.
I mean, she's legit badass. Like I made that sound like she was not.
It's still
Yes.
3 of them.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where they would go though. It's
Maybe they should have a battle between the Elite and another team for control of AEW. They haven't done that in a couple months.
yeah, that would work.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Same.
I like how it's going. I'm happy with it so far.
Yeah, because it's like they're giving him his one segment. It gives you just a little bit, maybe answers one question, but makes you ask 3 more, and then they just drop it. And that's what I kind of like about it too. You know, it's not like at 20 minutes after he's off the air, like, hey, what's Mox doing? You know, there's no more hints, no nothing. It's just like, there's his
20
time.
minutes long. They're like 5 or 6 minutes long, and that's it.
And that's it.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's almost like going away for a while, coming back with a new gimmick, and then not monopolizing the show is a good idea. And something that maybe some other wrestlers on the roster should try doing.
I wholeheartedly.
No one in particular. I'm not naming this at anyone in particular.
No.
Just
You
in
just
general.
wear a fancy jacket that lit up and
Yeah, no, just in
a
general.
countdown. Yeah.
Just in general.
Anyways, All Out card. We're going to start with one we don't know, so nobody has to pick this one. For the Continental Championship, which I'm glad it's kind of starting to get its some traction here, because when was the C2? Was it before or after Christmas?
It was like November or something, wasn't it?
So it was at the end of the year. So C2 is coming up. So I'm glad that the title's getting defended. That's but it's going to be a 4-way match. It's Okada, and then there's 3 qualifying matches on Rampage and Collision on Friday.
Are they doing Rampage and Collision, or just Collision?
Rampage Collision then Rampage.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be on from 8 until midnight there's because after that
Jeez.
is the after Rampage is the All Out
Yeah.
countdown thing.
So
Yeah.
you got 4 hours on Friday and like 6 hours on Sunday and Saturday.
Yeah. Wow,
So there you
tomorrow's
go.
gonna be long. I mean, obviously, I was just gonna say Okada retains. I
Yeah.
would guess.
I think,
So,
like, I mean, like, this would be a good way to have him lose if they were going to have him lose, because it's a 4-way, so he can lose without getting pinned.
true.
But I think you're right. I don't think he loses. I think they're going to make his like undefeated thing part of his presentation and part of his gimmick, sort of. So yeah, I think he wins.
But that one just doesn't really count because we don't know who's all in it yet. But we will go on to MJF versus Daniel Garcia. This match, they opened Dynamite, and I don't know, the crowd wasn't into it. Max did a heck of a job saving.
Did that feel awkward to anyone else? That segment felt awkward to me.
It felt extremely
Super
awkward to
awkward.
me.
Yeah, and
It didn't flow. Like it
that's what I was just gonna say. Like, it wasn't anybody's fault, but there was definitely something that wasn't right.
Yeah, I thought maybe they couldn't hear each other because it was like, I'm going to say my line, and then there was a pause, and then
Yeah.
well, I'm going to say my
I
unconnected
think they
line.
were waiting for crowd reaction, and like they
Yeah.
didn't get it at first until everybody just started booing everybody, like ooh, and I think that's why it went that way, because it definitely felt off, like weird.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
I like the ending of it though. I thought that was good.
I was just gonna say the segment was saved. I mean, MJF knows how to work a crowd. Once he figured it out, it was back on track. But the ending was, it was awesome. Did you also?
There are too many shows where you can have someone burning down someone else's house and someone drinking someone else's blood
That is very
on the same
very.
episode.
It was
Very
more
true.
like a smooch in the blood. I wouldn't say he was drinking it.
He licked it
that's-
off his
that's fine.
fingers.
Yeah, he licked it off
That's
his
fine.
fingers.
Oh, he did? Oh,
And that's gross. I'm sorry.
that is super gross.
That's so unsanitary.
I really hope, like, not to go into like stuff, but I really hope that these guys are all frequently tested for various things, because there's a lot of like biting and drinking each
I
other's
was-
blood.
Oh
that
yeah,
happens.
you have to be.
I
Like
was
any
just
combat
thinking that.
sport.
Well, because my industry I work in, performers are tested every 2 weeks. So I'm wondering if wrestlers have to do something like that.
Guaranteed.
I feel like especially if you're drinking someone's blood.
Yeah,
Right.
I
I
feel
mean,
like if they booked me to drink someone's blood, I'd be like, can you just give them a quick test right now? Because like, just to make sure.
Very true.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah. Who does everybody have, or who wants to go first? How about that?
Make Biddy do it.
All right.
it's
Body?
MJF and Daniel Garcia. I think MJF wins.
Okay.
Jay.
I'm going with MJF, even though I don't really particularly care for MJF, but it's just he has that momentum right now. It's going to be him, hands down. There's
See, I'm going to
no
go
way.
opposite. I think it's going to be Daniel Garcia.
I also think it's gonna be Daniel
Because
Garcia.
I know that would mean like 2 big pay-per-view losses in a row for MJF. But I think he can take that. Like, he's super over. It doesn't matter what happens to him. He's super over anyway. And I feel like one of the goals of this whole thing is to put Daniel Garcia over.
Agreed. That's what I was just gonna say. They want to make Daniel Garcia a star.
And so like he's definitely resigned, right? There's no way he's not.
Yeah, he's little kind of spoiler / breaking news. On Isaiah Cassidy's YouTube channel, they were drunk and he kind of let it out of the bag. He's like, I'm so glad I'm gonna be here for a long time. And he was like, dude, you weren't supposed to say that. And he was like, oh well. Yeah.
At least it's a podcast that's less professional than ours. That's nice.
True.
It's nice
True.
to hear.
Yeah,
Not by much.
also true. Also true.
The bar is on the floor.
Yeah. Hey, it's the best place for it. Because then no matter what, you can't ever go below it. Like when the
I mean,
bar is so low.
you could dig down.
But then
Trust
that
me.
takes work.
You can
No,
dig down.
It takes
No.
work to
Dig
get
up,
below.
stupid.
Oh, I trust I know it takes work, but you can never say it. The bar is so low, you can't go because you can go under it. Just trust me.
Stupid.
Stupid.
There's ways.
Moving right along, the steel cage lights out match, which we talked about earlier, between Swerve and Hangman. This is a toss up.
I agree. I think it could go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be really brutal. It's going to be
100%.
because it's so personal at this point. It's personal. Like,
and I think it's not even going to be like violent spot brutal. I think it's just going to be like kind of disgusting brutal.
Yeah, really gross and just kind of raw. It's going to be very raw. It's not going to look like some wrestling looks really pretty and technical. This is going to look mean and
even
good call.
Even there's some violence, like violent matches, like the Anarchy in the Arena and stuff matches, where like they do painful stuff, but like they set it up to look cool. Like Darby when he fell through the Sting match, when he fell off the ladder through the glass, like it was set up to look cool.
Right.
I think this isn't going to be set up to look cool. I think they're not going to do spots. They're just going to like hurt each other.
It's been a few weeks. What if Swerve lights Hangman on fire?
Hey, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know what they could possibly do.
Oh, he could hang him. He could hang him.
Could Hangman. Could hang Hangman.
His name's Hangman. You could do that. He burned down Swerve's house. Now you hang Hangman.
Yeah. Or you could kill his horse. He's a cowboy.
You could do that too.
Pull the old Godfather move. Have Hangman wake up.
He goes up the ring to get a chair, and it's a horse's head.
Yeah, a severed horse's, and then he just throws it at him.
No, what if one of those like toy like stick horses?
Didn't
That's amazing.
Didn't Chavo Guerrero do that in WCW?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Just one of those little stick horses, and you're gonna hang it in the arena.
I'm gonna go with Swerve on this one.
Okay.
And I have a theory. It's a lights out match, right? So Hangman's always yelling that Swerve can't beat him. He hasn't had a clean victory over him ever, like that by himself.
Good point.
Lights out matches don't count.
Good call.
I could see Swerve beating him, and then Hangman still being like, "Yeah, but you don't have an official victory over me. That didn't count."
That's
true.
You
continue it.
You had to like run me over with a car during the lights out match. I get it.
Yeah,
already in the tractor.
It's got to be something. They have to do something.
Yeah. 100%. All right. Someone else.
Biddy and Jay.
Let's talk about Willow and Chris Statlander. You
have to make your predictions, guys.
Whoa.
You have to make your predictions. You're just ahead of us. You're
Sorry.
not on the format.
I thought.
Wow,
we
have a
just
whole.
said it was gonna. We I thought we were all in agreement about Swerve.
You
No,
were so
pick yet.
enthusiastic too.
I was.
Yeah.
Wow. My feelings are hurt.
Wow.
This is reaching like WCW angle, or like we had a scripted format and you have gone off script. And this is
now no one knows what to do.
Yeah, we're all lost now.
I don't know.
All right, I'll go Hangman. I mean, that didn't take a lot of time, but now it's back to the ladies.
Well, so I like what Rick said about, it's a lights out match and it wouldn't technically count.
Okay.
So it kind of could draw along. They could continue this feud in a sense, like, yeah, okay, well, I did beat you, but you really didn't. So I kind of like where Rick went with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Biddy?
I'm very, because I can see why both would win.
Right.
I think I'm leaning Hangman though.
Okay. Oh, another split right down the middle.
This is a fun one.
It is. Okay, now we'll let Jay take a lead on this one. Chicago street fight.
Yeah, Willow and Chris Statlander. So I think this will be a really fun match.
Agreed.
Because we've seen Chris attack Willow time and time again, and I think I want to see, because Willow feels so much like that pushover, like nice girl, like she's a pushover, she's just taking it, and I want to see Willow just lose it, and she's not gonna be nice anymore.
It'll be fun. I'm excited for this one. I like this feud. I like both of them. It's gonna be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of like insane violence on this card, the whole show.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
this match could have like the craziest stunts because I think that these two are going to, and now my pun is fully intended here. These two are going to go all out.
Oh.
Thank you. And they're gonna try to be like super nuts. Like when the Rampage they had here when it was on Wednesday night, the one I went to in Toronto, when they had that street fight match. Who were they against again? Willow and Stat were a team.
Yeah.
Anyway, like
Yeah, I
that
can't
match,
remember.
they were like falling off. It was Sky Blue and was it Julia?
Yeah.
Like that match where they're just like, we're gonna do something nuts just because we want to show that we can do something nuts. I think that's what they're gonna like, break glass on each other or like fall off really high ladders or something.
And I feel like it's gonna be like, like Mariah, like even when she's wrestling, like she looks so pretty, and a lot of the women's division. But I feel like I want to see
does
Willow.
look pretty, doesn't she? Let's talk about that a bit.
So like I feel like Willow and Stat are gonna get like that really gritty, ugly kind of like they're gonna reach down where they have to for this fight. Like it's not gonna look, like most of the women's roster. Like
Right.
everybody looks pretty and perfect and made up, and it's gonna be a lot of yelling. I think a lot of aggravation is gonna come out.
This seems like it's going to be an especially grimy pay-per-view.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, even if you notice, the graphics are kind of grimy looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
Is there a reason they picked I noticed like all the animated graphics? It's raining in Chicago. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that, but
I
yeah.
did not
It was
notice that.
raining and all the when it like, pops up like on the to the train and it has like the stars behind it for the the Chicago flag. I noticed it was raining in like all of the pay-per-view
I guess you can't
animated things.
you can't do a graphic of wind for like the windy city, so maybe you can do rain.
I guess.
True.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or they're going for the gritty.
I was gonna say they're going for the gritty look.
Just makes me think of the Flyers mascot. Sorry.
Gritty slays.
He does.
Uh,
He's great.
Uh,
Okay, who do we
Jay?
pick?
Jay, who you got?
I think Willow's coming out on top.
Okay.
I think like I said, she's gonna stop being that nice girl, like the pushover, and she's just gonna get mad.
I agree with you. I think Willow also.
I also agree with you, Jay.
I will say Willow as well.
Oh,
All around.
Wow.
Okay, it's a whitewash, so we'll just
Go Willow.
Okay.
Willow's cool.
Yeah.
I hope she does something cool after this too. I like Willow a lot.
Same. We have the world tag titles. It's the Bucks who are the champions versus Claudio and Yuta. Wheeler Yuta, excuse me. They challenged last night on Dynamite, and the Bucks accepted. And
I just want to point out that it was said on screen, on TV, on the show, that Tony Khan made this match.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
apparently Tony Khan can book the Bucks to be in title
good
matches.
call.
he has veto over all of the EVPs.
Or at least he did yesterday. That may change depending
Good
on how
call.
the storyline
Maybe-
requires it to change.
Maybe like it just depends on his mood. Like, nah, I'll just let them do it today. Or, no, you know what?
I mean, see, that would even be fine. Just drop in a sentence to explain that.
Mhm.
And then I would never talk about it again.
I remember what I was going to say earlier from the callback when you said Tony Khan. It reminded me on Ring of Honor 2 weeks ago. Ian Riccaboni let it slip that the people in the talent calls the Titantron the Tonytron, and I think that's
Nice.
the greatest thing ever.
That's pretty
That's
good. I
great.
like that.
It is.
I like that.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what I was going to say earlier. So, I mean, obviously the Bucks are winning because right?
Yeah, I mean the BCC just won the trios titles. They're not gonna
Exactly.
Put them together.
So,
Yeah, I say that.
after-
Yeah.
so not to upset Rick, but like after the whole jacket thing, is Chris getting involved in this now?
I don't think.
You don't think he wouldn't?
I
get
think there's going to be
involved?
something. There's going to be something. I don't know if it's
Like, hey, nice, like something. It felt like that whole nice jacket. Like,
Okay, I see.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like
I thought you meant Chris Statlander at first. when you
no, I'm
read that.
sorry. No.
And I would just say Chris
no.
Statlander's gonna get involved. That would be
No,
weird.
not that Chris. The other Chris.
Yeah, I could see that. They're going to get together at one point and do a whole thing of like, we know people don't want us to do this on TV, but we're going to do it anyway. Doesn't that make us
Like,
heels?
I feel like they have to be the most annoying as they possibly can. Like that's where this is gonna go.
Yeah, I could see that. I hope one of the reasons, like the main reason I'm picking the Bucks is because Claudio and Yuta already have the trios titles. The other reason is
Same.
I really hope
Yeah.
this EVP thing of theirs goes somewhere, and them having the belts makes it more likely for it to go somewhere.
Like it would be cool if like one day Tony just comes out and he's like, listen, I heard you guys have been trying to like run the show without me calling your, saying you're calling the shots, and like it would be cool if Tony would actually like come in and say something about it, but he doesn't.
No, instead he has Christopher Daniels sporadically decide to make announcements that
Yeah.
sometimes are
See,
upheld and sometimes can just be overruled.
But I'm okay with that because I do not want him talking.
Oh, yeah, I don't want Tony Khan coming out because he's very
Yeah.
good at this.
Yeah.
He'll either come out and just scream,
Correct.
or
Yeah.
he'll come out and be like, "Yes, Young Bucks, tonight on AEW Dynamite live on TBS, there will be a World Tag Team Championship match." Well, without blinking.
Yeah, I was just gonna
You
say,
know,
but my eyes are drying
it.
out.
You know what? I've had it with you, the Young Bucks.
But then he threw the plug. Last week on AEW Dynamite at 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS.
On Collision. On TV.
Yeah, it's got to be the Bucks. I can't see it going.
Bucks.
Is it Bucks? Is it Bucks all around?
I think so.
I think so. I just had
That's
a thought
too-
though. Wouldn't it be wild if out of nowhere Kenny Omega came back to screw over the Bucks?
That would be fun.
I think that's what that's.
So is that's
gonna
what this is
happen.
building up to,
I feel
right?
like
It's
that's the end goal
yeah.
eventually, yeah. But it
the end
depends on
goal
Kenny
is
Omega.
Kenny coming back with all of this because it all kind of ties together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny will and as long as he's healthy enough to come back, he will eventually
Right.
come back. I just have no idea when that will be.
Well, and wouldn't that be wild? Like, okay, like, so it's eventually going to be like the Elite and the Bucks versus like the others in AEW to take over the company. Like, what if Kenny and Moxley like joined forces
I
to
was
go
gonna say,
against the
what
Bucks?
if Mox is gathering up people to team up with Kenny?
That'd be fun.
Or yeah, but like, Kenny's.
What if they had a match and they put actual stakes on it?
You mean like
No.
ribeyes?
Yes.
No, New York strip.
But yeah, I can see that. Kenny will come back eventually. That would be
Yeah.
cool. If Mox was putting together a thing to work with Kenny, like that's who he's working with, that would be fun.
That'd be
Like
really
it's not
cool.
your company because Kenny's an EVP too. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean Kenny was one
True.
of the first there when they started AEW. He was right there with them with the Bucks.
Kenny's also the only one who escaped all the nonsense of like the last 3 years,
Oh my
and,
god! I
and
know.
still seems like just like a cool guy. Like he's escaped it all, and everyone's just like, yeah,
Kenny
Kenny
and
seems cool.
He's
his
the
big
hero
cat.
saving the dog.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And then getting
My kinda
bit by the
man.
He's a kitty man.
Let's never forget that he saved a dog and
That's
then
true.
was bit by a human.
That's right.
That is very
I
true.
forgot the human part.
That will never get old.
I
The
forgot-
one
That's
thing
the
that
best
we
thing
thought
I've
was
ever
fake.
heard.
Right. And
Yeah,
the one thing that everyone thought was
Stories like that part can't be true. That's the only thing that all sides involved in this will agree on that happened.
and that's it will go down forever in history. That is seriously the greatest thing. The one thing that was so absurd. It's the only thing that we found out was the absolute 100%
I
true.
just not to go into that, but I love the idea of everyone fighting and screaming, and Kenny's just holding a dog,
That'd be me.
and then Ace Steel just comes over and bites him.
It's like, I mean, it's like a Simpsons moment. Like, it's so absurd. There's no way. It's like, yeah, there's no way that happened. And then
That's
there you go.
incredible. I love it.
Yes. TBS title. I'm segueing right in.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Keep this machine rolling.
Mercedes Moné, our champion, versus Hikaru Shida. And the stipulation, Camille is banned from ringside.
Let Jay talk. Jay wants to know. Jay loves Mercedes.
I do love Mercedes. So Blasco had
Go ahead.
mentioned what if Camille would to like have a front row seat ringside, and then I think because Mercedes, like, okay, that's a good take on it, but Mercedes she's the CEO, and
Correct.
so she's got CEO money, and this is her company. She's the CEO. So what if she puts Camille right there in a seat, right front and center of a camera?
That'd be awesome.
And then, is she really banned from ringside then? She's not
Right.
ringside at that point.
Right?
That's
She's
my
paying
favorite.
customers.
That's my favorite wrestling trope, where they're just like, "You're banned, but I bought a ticket." Well, nothing else we can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like paying customers. That's fun.
I think because I still feel
I
like
love it.
Spoiled
Camille-
again.
Camille still has to get involved somehow, and she will. Like it feels inevitable. Like why else would
Agreed.
Camille
Yeah.
be around?
I can see the Elite doing something to help to involve, because
Okada.
Okada for sure.
'Cause he's got the
Mercedes
crush on
and
her.
the Elite have kind of been friendly. I could see
Yeah.
them doing something to help Mercedes here.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we know Camille was banned from ringside, but we hooked her up with a front row seat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
can see
awesome
that.
too.
I still want someone to do the angle of, this isn't Camille, this is El Camilo, and she's wearing a mask. But like very clearly Camille. But like she's still wearing gear that says Camille on the back. And
But it's spelled with a C.
yes.
It's a different.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be great.
Um,
It's not going to be Sheeta. I don't think it's going to be Sheeta, but Sheeta rules, and I think she deserves something. So I kind of hope it's Sheeta. I don't think it will be though.
No.
But I really
feel
like
like-
Sheeta. I think she should get to do something.
I agree, but I feel like they're gonna just to have a belt on Mercedes is
Yeah.
a
And
good
what else?
for
Like
them.
if Mercedes lost, what else would she do? She's not going to go after the women's title at this point. She's not going
Right.
to face Mariah May. So
Right.
yeah, it's going to be Mercedes.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Especially because I think we're probably gonna eventually get like Saraya and Mercedes eventually.
Yeah, that would be fun.
It's gotta
That would be-
happen.
That has to happen. Yeah. I'm also gonna go Mercedes.
Biddy.
Biddy?
I say Mercedes, and I wonder if Sheeta gets a rematch for the NJW or P, whatever, the strong.
The strong
and then
title.
Sheeta
WG.
takes the strong.
Is it
There you
NJPW
go.
or IWGP? Which one is it?
It's
It's-
NJPW.
It's
Yeah.
NJPW. IWGP is their other division of titles. Okay.
hmm
But
That's a
yeah,
good call.
Yeah, I
That's
could
a
see
great
that.
call.
That would be fun. I would like that.
Great.
like Camille interferes, so it's like just
Yeah.
DQ, and then so Sheeta goes for
Yeah,
the
that would be
strong,
cool.
maybe.
Shot.
That
Yeah,
would be fun. I would like that.
That,
And
yeah,
maybe-
I'm
maybe
online.
It'll give Sheeta even, like, I like that Sheeta's getting kind of an angry edge these days. Maybe it'll push her over that edge a bit more.
yeah.
hmm
That would be fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, that I think that match has potential, like, to be a show stealer, because like we said earlier, like there's gonna be a lot of violent on this. Like if Mercedes and Sheeta just come out and have like a wrestling match, like not that sounds boring, but that would be different on a show like this, and that
Yeah.
could also be the show stealer. Just throwing that out.
Especially
there.
because their feud doesn't feel like it's that kind of it doesn't feel like it has gotten
Right.
to that point.
It's
yet.
not like a
Right.
blood feud. Like
Yeah.
Sheeta just wants her
Right.
belt and she wants to keep her belt. Like it's a pretty basic thing.
It's pretty big. Yeah, I
Yeah,
want the
yeah, yeah.
title, blah blah blah. I'm tough, you're tough. Let's see who's the toughest. It just doesn't. So I think it would work if it's not a brutal, bloody kind of match. Like if
No,
it's a
I don't
very,
think it will be. I think it'll just be an actual
if
wrestling
it's
match.
a very very technical match, I think it'll work.
Yeah, absolutely. The international championship, champion Will Ospreay versus Wet Pack.
Heck, let's hope he's wet.
That's right. Hey. Anyways, this match has, I don't know, like a small bit. It's of all the matches, it has, other than Hangman Swerve, the most build. I definitely think Ospreay is going to win, but it's interesting that Pac's a former champion. I could see him winning also. Like neither of the guys need this. If
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
I'm also saying Osprey. I agree with you that I could see it being packed, but I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
because there's that trios title thing where like, do you want
Yeah.
to give him 2 titles? Yeah.
I feel like Osprey too is like really just too over right now to take that belt from him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be his belt for a while now.
Yeah, agreed.
I think
Yeah.
they only gave it to MJF so they could do that thing in England, and
100%.
otherwise he's just going to have it for a really long time.
Seriously, they had to. I mean,
Yeah, I think
that
this is going to
makes
be the match of the night. These guys are going to go nuts.
Oh, they were.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's gonna spread backstage like it did last night?
I think it might somehow involve Ricochet, so maybe.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I think Ricochet is going to get involved somehow.
Too.
Yeah, it'll be fun though.
Biddy, are you also going Osprey?
Yes.
Okay.
I have
so
a very
washing
bold
out.
prediction. Someone's going to fall on their neck.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what these guys like to do, and
you're
it's going to look
probably correct.
it's going to look
It
horrific.
look absolutely horrible. Yes.
Yeah, and then
Um,
somehow they won't die, and they'll be able to continue the match.
Yeah. And finally, the world title. Bryan Danielson, the champion, versus TNT champion Jack Perry. Again, I think this match is going to be violent, but I think Danielson wins.
Yeah,
Because
I think
this
yes,
is-
definitely.
Like Danielson, someone on Threads brought up a good point. Like the first couple matches are going to be like, okay, those are the gimmies. Like he's going to win that. But then they're going to start to get like, oh no, he can maybe lose that because he has the stipulation, So like, of course, Jack Perry's not going to beat him. And then
Can you imagine that's what they did to him? Danielson finally wins the belt. Everyone goes nuts. A week off later, he loses to Jack Perry, and he's done.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
His
that'd be
career's over.
bold. It'd be bold.
It'd be really bold.
I don't think it'd be a good business decision.
No.
No, terrible decision.
Yeah.
No.
With hey, let's let Baron Corbin retire Kurt Angle, but yeah, that would be hilarious. But terrible idea. At least Jack Perry's going to get properly booed here because it's in Chicago,
No.
True.
and you know that he can't go a minute without referencing that. Then he definitely will, and it will get booed, and he should get like.
Oh, 100%.
He's straddled this weird line of like he's a heel, but shouldn't you kind of be on his side for a while? But that's not going to happen here. He's just going to be hated, so it'll work.
Oh, it's going to be great. His character is the most interesting, other than Tony Storm. I'm sorry.
I actually really like Jack Perry. I like what he's doing.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
he's
it's
doing a
great.
good job.
I wanted to bring
I'll
him
mock
up.
the Elite nonstop, but I think he's doing a good job. I enjoy what he's doing. He's getting
I
pretty good at
guess-
promos too.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah. He's gotten much better. He must have gotten an acting coach or something.
Probably.
Because, yeah, it's light and day almost from what it used to be.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
I just
like
had
him.
a thought. Going back to Mox, Mox, when they walk past him, he goes like, something like, whatever they say, you're still a nice kid or whatever he said
He
to
said,
him.
I've always liked you, kid, or no matter
Or-
what people
Yeah.
say or something. Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was something, but I wonder if that puts like when I think that's what Mox is gonna like take on the Elite and control the company, but saying something like that to Jack Perry kind of sets a weird thing in his head where maybe he'll be the one that like betrays the Elite.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Ah.
Try to put a
Good
wedge
call.
between them. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, there's a spark there.
And like, the Elite never really cared about Jack Perry until it was in their best interest to care about Jack Perry. Like they never cared about
Exactly.
him before. Right. So yeah, I could see that.
No, just thinking about stories.
Jack Perry is also the only one I was thinking who managed to get some sort of angle and heat out of this whole debacle that happened. He's the only one who's managed to like turn it into like a successful angle.
Well, I mean, he could be fighting about bracelets and stuff.
Yeah, I like Jack Perry. I think, but he's not going to win. But I like
No.
him.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
What
He's not
if-
winning.
What if the Bucks try to get involved and they cost the match for Jack Perry? And with what Danielson said and all that, and then the thing with Mox, like, what if Jack starts to, like, story-wise, like, he's just kind of, maybe the grass isn't always greener on the other side kind of thing.
I could see that.
And,
I
could
definitely
start
see
a
that.
rift between him and the Bucks.
That'd be fun.
That'd
I
be
didn't think
awesome.
about that, but that sounds good. I like that. There's also the possibility of his old friend Christian getting involved, who has that guaranteed title shot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the title shot.
Oh,
Christian could do something too.
Oh, Christian's incredible.
He's the greatest. I love
Like-
Christian.
he's
Just spend the rest of the podcast talking about how great Christian is. He's doing great.
Agreed.
Oh my God, he's
He
so.
should be on the podcast. I'll just
He
shut up
should
and
be
let
on
him
the
talk.
podcast. Yeah. Just
Well,
tell
he's-
him
he's
we'll,
from-
we'll give you like an hour just to make fun of people's dads, and he'll be on.
Well, he's from Toronto, Rick. Don't you know everyone in Toronto? Just go
Yeah,
knock on
right.
his door.
Yeah, get
All
us.
Canadians know each other.
That's
Yeah.
right. We all know each other. We'll just walk over and be like, "Hey, Christian, want to make fun of my dad? I don't know where he is."
See? There you go.
Christian, you want to be my new dad?
I was thinking though, this is going to be like a sneaky good pay-per-view because it's after All In. It's like all the,
Right.
the spotlight was on All In.
Well, that's how
just-
last year All Out was like.
Yeah,
People were like, "Oh, it's gonna suck," why are they? And then it like it freaking blew. It was
I think it's like the guys who are on All In, guys and girls who are on All In, kind of All Out. Sorry, kind of feel like, oh, they didn't get that, not necessarily got their chance to shine on All In. Like they're not on the big stage, so they're gonna
Right.
they're gonna
Do-
prove themselves by doing something extra good on this show. This isn't the big one, but like it's still a good show. We're still gonna do something. We're gonna make people talk about it.
Good call. I agree.
Mhm.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Does anybody have any final thoughts before we wrap things up here?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was easy.
That energy died out pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, since nobody has anything, like to thank everybody for listening once again. We are at Elite City Pod on all social media. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, smash the like button. Please smash it. Don't hit it. Smash it because it doesn't count if you don't. That's about all. I think I did it all. Enjoy All Out. Have a good rest of the week. And until next week, see you later.